Super Bowl champions, and defending Super Bowl champs are 19-3 straight up in week 1 since Y2K. Bills expected to win the AFC East quite handily. They are the heaviest division favorite in the AFC at minus 230. The Patriots and Dolphins both plus 475. The Jets 22-1. Emory Hunt from Sportsline is here to W&L every team in the AFC East this season. Starting with the Buffalo Bills, Emory, the win total is 11.5, and I haven't heard anyone go under on that in all the experts we've talked to so far.
Yeah, it's hard to go under when you have the best defense, I feel like, in the division. I think their two deep is excellent, yeah, and they'll get healthier as the season goes on because they'll get Tre'Davious White back after a certain period of time. But their defense will keep them in a lot of games and in some cases win them a lot of games. And they also have a really good quarterback in Josh Allen, who has just found his groove as a QB in this league. So I look at them going over that number. I feel like 12-5 is a good stretch for them because their first 8 games is going to be tough. That's their hardest stretch. I feel like you got the Rams in there, you got the Ravens, you also have the Packers and the Chiefs. But after that, week 9 through the rest of the season is, I don't want to say it's a piece of cake, but you got the Jets twice. You may get Deshaun Watson with a Deshaun Watson-less Browns, and you also have Detroit and Chicago in there as well. So I feel like they can go on a heavy run toward the back end of the season and into the playoffs. So I like them going 12-5.
12-5 is the call from Emory. That's over the 11.5 win total. And obviously, if you have them winning 12 games, you have them winning the division. Sportsline, by the way, says there still is good value on the Bills to win the division. Even though it's minus 230, there's good value there because Sportsline has them winning that division about 80% of the time. Let's move on to the Miami Dolphins. The win total is set at 8.5. They're looked at, as a borderline playoff team. So much up in the air with Tua.
Yeah, but I love angry Tua. I feel like we've seen spicy Tua all throughout training camp and in the summer. He's upset about what people are talking about him throwing the football, but they've added those explosive weapons. They have Tyreek Hill. They have Jalen Waddle. You bring in Chase Edmonds, who's a fantastic tailback. That's something they've been needing for 3 years. They got a game break in the backfield, and they may have the second best defense in the AFC East. And I feel like when you look at their first stretch of games, weeks 1 through 4 are probably going to be tough for them because they got some heavy hitters. You got Baltimore, Buffalo, and Cincinnati, and that pesky New England team. But weeks 5 through 12, I mean, I hate to keep picking on the Lions and also the Bears, but they also throw in Houston in there as well, and America's team in Minnesota who's going to falter like they always do. So I see them going on a nice little run. I think they do make the playoffs. 11-6 is where I'm pegging the Dolphins. When you get angry to a run game and a defense, I'm all in on the fence.
11 wins for the Dolphins with a couple of really difficult stretches, including the one to start the season, and then week 13 through 17, they play a bunch of contenders as well. They're plus 130 to make the playoffs, so I'm guessing you love that right now from Caesar Sportsbook.
I do love them to make the playoffs, and also I may even sprinkle some on them winning the division. It depends on how confident they are going into that game against Buffalo. They have a chance. Buffalo now will face a different Miami team that can actually run the football. Their defense can give the Bills some problems. And if they are able to play balance on offense, we know it's going to be outside zone heavy, inside zone heavy, play action pass, naked bootleg with Tua Tagovailoa and these speedsters at wide receiver. They got a shot, man. So I wouldn't be surprised if they can take the division, but I definitely see them going to the playoffs out the AFC.
Wow, Emory, really high on the Dolphins. 11 wins for them, had the Bills winning 12. How about the Patriots? Just like the Dolphins, their over-under win total set at 8.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go under here because here's the thing. I hate to go from a high to a low. It's like a sugar crash. Like you have that donut, you amped and you go, and now you just got to go take a nap somewhere. So that's what I feel like about the Patriots because their offense is pedestrian. We've heard it all throughout training camp, all throughout the practices. And we've seen it all throughout preseason. And their top threat, the guy Taquan Thornton, who they drafted out of Baylor, who was expected to be their go-to guy, their deep ball threat, he's hurt. So now you look at an ineffective Patriots offense that's going to be one-dimensional. They're going to try to run the football. I feel like weeks 5 through 9, you get the Bears thrown in there. You get the Browns without Deshaun Watson. And you have a crucial game before the bye week. Indianapolis, a really good team. So you can kind of build some confidence there to go into the bye and come out of that. But weeks 11 through 18 is murderer's row with Arizona, Minnesota, Vegas, the Bengals, and the Dolphins in there as well. All of those teams are going to be fighting for playoff berths. And I feel like if you are the Patriots, with your ineffective offense, it's not going to look good for you. So they got to rack up those wins early, because late it's going to be tough.
All right, so you have the Patriots just missing out on the postseason. Sportsline giving them a 35% chance to make the playoffs. Then you have the Jets, over under 5.5. Zach Wilson starting the season on the bench. What do you expect for the Jets this season?
You know, it's fascinating because I was all on the Jets earlier in the offseason. I still am, because they are a very talented two deep on all parts of the roster. You see how many guys that they cut got picked up quickly by other teams. I want to see 11 guys off their roster got scooped up by other NFL squads. I have them going 9-8. I feel like the Jets will face a lot of good teams after or before their bye. Their first 8 games I feel like are tough, and that's gonna be tough for them. If they want to be a playoff team, they're gonna have to split the difference in those first 8 games. But after the bye, guess who appears on the schedule? The Chicago Bears, and also the New England Patriots. But I feel like with their run game, their defense, Zach Wilson will play better this year. They do get Flacco for, let's say, a game or 2. So I do feel like they can have some success outside of their first 6 or so games. So I know that first game they're going to get blasted by Baltimore, but after that, I do feel like the Jets can go on a nice little run, especially after their bye week. The schedule lightens up. I see them going 9-8.
Do you see the Jets going 9-8?
9 wins, 8 losses, no ties, and better than the New York Football Giants. Both teams play in New Jersey, by the way.
Wait, so you have the Jets finishing ahead of the Patriots in the division. You had the Jets winning 9 and the Patriots only winning 8. How's that going to sit in New England?
I actually have the Patriots winning 7. I have them 7 wins. Siete have them going 7-10 right there. Because again, I don't trust their offense. I know Mac Jones is a solid quarterback. To me, I comped him to Matt Hasselbeck coming out of college, and he's efficient. He's effective when things are on schedule. But when you press him to throw deeper down the field and clouding up those windows down the sideline, he can't make those throws. He hasn't shown he can make those throws. And the defenses that he's going to face within this division, they have press corners. They're going to force you to hold the football a little bit too long. They're going to make things tough for him. So I just like the fact that the rest of the division got better to catch Buffalo, but in the process, they may have pushed the Patriots down the line a little bit, and in this case, 4th in the division.
Emory, you're knocking our socks off here. You got the Bills winning the division, but you say the Dolphins could win it as well. You have them winning 11. You have the Jets winning 9, but only 2 teams getting into the postseason. You had the Jets and the Patriots missing out. What do you see from the Bills and the Dolphins in the postseason?
I see the Bills going further than Miami, but I don't think any one of these teams can win the AFC or get to the Super Bowl. I think that team is going to be Baltimore. Baltimore was a team that was 8-3 with all 3 of us out here on the roster, and Lamar gets hurt, and then they collapse. Now you have a healthy team, a healthy Lamar that's playing for a new contract. I think they're going straight to the Super Bowl. But Buffalo will give them a chance in the playoffs. We'll give them a fight. I think Buffalo goes further than Miami, but none of them win the AFC in my opinion.
Wow. Emory Hunt with some very bold picks today here on CBS Sports HQ as he W&Ls the entire season for the AFC East. Bills winning the division, no surprise there, but he thinks the Dolphins could win it as well, and he likes the Jets to have a winning record this season at 9-8, while the Patriots falter at 7-10. I don't know many people that have the AFC East shaken out quite like this, at least not with the Dolphins and Jets winning that many games. Emory Hunt bringing the heat on the Q.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.